Hi everyone, it's Mechanic Percy Thompson Racing here, just dancing around the garage as you do. I'm going to do a video on corner weights, the importance of corner weights, and obviously we'll be setting the corner weights up as well. I don't know if you're like me, when we first started out and someone mentioned corner weights, I didn't have a clue what they were talking about. Anyway, they are extremely important in the way your car handles and the way it distributes its weight as you're cornering, also as you're accelerating and decelerating. So we tend to run a split of somewhere around 60, 40, 65, 35, that sort of area. Some even at 30, 70%. So your split is heavier at the front than it is at the back. Obviously you've got the engine at the front, so you've got more weight in the car. So the corner weights in the car, when you're braking, you transfer weight from one part of the car. So if you're braking hard in a straight line, you're going to transfer weight from the back of the car to the front of the car, and that's going to put weight over the front wheels. Now, you want to be able to control how this weight gets there, and you want to control how much weight's there. So if you've got too much weight on the wheels, your car won't grip, it won't handle, you're just going to destroy the tyres. So the basic idea is to get a nice split from front to rear, but also from side to side. So we want to get our front wheels weighing the same. So what we'll do, we'll take a weigh at each wheel. So we'll weigh each corner, hence corner weights, and we'll get, so we're roughly 65% of the weight at the front of the car, split evenly across both axles or both wheels front. The back's a little bit trickier, just due to having a driver on one side of the car and the way the weight is in the car. But we're not too bothered, we just like to get the back somewhere, like we know we're always going to be lifting this wheel in corners, not so much the other side, but this isn't a problem. It works for the car, it works fine. If we can get it as close as we can, then great. We don't know now with the drop that we've had in driver weight. Speaking of which, so what we've done, we've put some weights in the car basically to represent the weight of the driver. So we've got 90 kilos of weight in there, so that represents the driver. We've got our ride heights as low as we can go on the front, and we'll work up from there. We've put a string line down just so we can measure from the sill line on the front and the bottom of this trunnion on the back down to the string line, just so we can get a ride height. In our championship we have to run a ride height between 16 centimetres and 20 centimetres from these areas, the front sill line and the rear trunnion. So as long as we're between that 16 to 20 centimetres with the driver in, then we're safe. So what we'll do, we'll start by jacking up each corner using the high-low units. So we're not actually looking to raise the car, though we will raise the car. What we're looking for is to put more pressure on this corner, so the more you raise it up, the more weight will get transferred to this corner. Likewise the other side, so we'll raise the high-lows, get them more or less even, and then we'll take a measure of where our weights are right the way around the car. Hopefully be somewhere near, but it's usually a bit of fiddling about. Right, so we've got turntables, and what we've done with the turntables, just so we've got, so you've got to do this on a level surface as well, just the same as setting up. We've drilled some holes into the turntables and put some bolts through, and then run levels round just to make sure all these pads are sitting level and they're level with each other. So a lot of people now don't use this system that we're using. Obviously you've got digital scales nowadays, but they're way out of our budget digital scale, so we're using the old pace gauge. It's not wholly accurate, you do have to take quite a few measures. But it gets you near to where you want to be. So without investing a load for digital scales, this is what we use. Right, I'm going to put this camera down. I'll have to take the pins out of these front plates. And that will allow me to turn the steering wheel so I can get access behind the wheel with a spanner just to adjust some high-lows. Taking the pins out allows these, as I say, the turntable, so it allows the top part of the turntable to rotate while the plate on the floor stays in situ. Right, we'll find somewhere to put this camera. Okay, so we've set the two fronts now, so we've now got a ride height of 19 centimetres both sides. So we're going to have a look with the corner weight gauge and see what that gives us. Hopefully we'll be pretty close, because this is a better ride height for us where we are here. We might have to have a look at the backs as well. But we're gonna now try and use this corner weight gauge one-handed. I don't fancy my chances, so I might have to put the camera down, but couldn't get away with it. Right. Okay, so the corner weight gauge just sits on the floor. I've put a bit of timber under just to level us up with the rest of it, and then it just sits under the rim. There's another reason I don't like it. Much rather scales, but you know, this is what we've got. It does damage the paint on your rims, this gauge. Anyway, let's give it a whirl and see what we've got. Bouncing it around the 600, a bit more leverage. That wheel to lift. Until that wheel lifts, we don't know what we've got. So, that wheel lifted at 700. So let's have a look at the other side. Obviously space isn't great.
Hello!
Hello!
Hello, you alright?
How are we doing, Tracy?
Cool. How's it going?
It's going. It's getting there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Hiya.
Hello! Hi everyone!
Hopefully it won't be long and then we can have a look at doing the setup, but we'll do the corner weights first.
Yeah. Awesome. Just going to get started off and shoot back off. Bye bye!
Bye bye. Take it easy.
You too!
Yeah. Boss coming in, make sure I'm doing something, I suppose. Someone's got to. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. This gauge we've had to modify due to our lack of space in here. This handle was twice as long. Obviously it gives you a bit more leverage, but oh, seems to be working. Right, I'll get this bit of timber, bring it out to this side, and we'll measure this side. So we're looking at 700. We've got 700 and then it's great, it's just a fine bit of tuning. If we haven't got 700 then, oh, let's see what we want to do. This turntable stepped over a little bit. Bit of gauge again. if we can just get it into there. I want to put the camera down for this one. Hopefully. Okay, so we're lifting at 7 on that side and we're lifting at 650 on this side. So to even that up, what I'll do, I'll turn the passenger side wheel so I can get him behind with a spanner. Wind the adjuster down so it's as if we're going to gain more ride height, and that'll put some more pressure on this wheel. I don't know, a couple of turns, hopefully that'll bring us there. Right, pull them pins back out the plate, give it a turn, and I'll do the adjustments. I won't film doing the adjustments, I didn't film doing the adjustments when doing it. Obviously a lot of guys might say they'll run digital scales, but they also won't have wheels. What they'll have is like an adapter plate which sits down onto the turntable so you can get your hands in and adjust everything you need to. Brilliant idea, but it's not something we have, it's not something in our budget. Right, so I'll get back to you when I've adjusted them and we'll take another measurement. Okay, so we've wound this one up a little bit, won't have even been a full turn. So now we're going to have a quick look and see what we've got on the gauge. Hopefully we'll need that 700. Obviously we'll have to check the other side, see if that's come down any with the weight movement. And then we'll be checking the backs, see where we are with the backs, if there's any adjustment we may need to make adjustment at the back, we'll see when we get there. Right, let's have a look at this one. I'll put the camera down again, I'm not trying it one-handed on these. I might do on the back. It's a bit much on the front, a bit much weight, and with not having a lot of leverage, that's stuck under there. Do we have an angle? We sort of have a camera angle, I suppose. Bring you over. Right, so we put the gauge back in. Make sure that ball's right as far back as we can. Hopefully the car doesn't want to shift too far. Put the arm across and try and stop it, but the amount of leverage I need. Past 6, we're up to 7s. So that's 7. So we'll give the other side a check now. Just bear with me with the camera and the timber. And we'll run round to the other side, shut the timber down, corner weight gauge, give it a spin, and we'll see where we are with this. Hopefully we're still at the 700 area, and then we can start having a look at the backs. There, put some miles in walking out in this garage, shall we? Right, back in the beginning. So, again, corner weight gauge in. We're close with that handle, but we should get it. Right, I'll put this camera down again, I won't even try. There we go. Let's see what we've got. Fingers if it slips. Well, we've transferred a fair bit of weight over on that side, but we've also now got a fair bit of weight on this side. That's transferred us over 50. I wouldn't take too much notice of the numbers, but it's a higher number than the other side. I'll quickly run down the other side. Okay, so we've got that side to 7, but this side's gone up as well, so we don't have much in the way height we can drop off that. We're now going to have a look at the backs and see what we've thrown into the backs. It may be the backs which we need to, so when you're doing the corner weights, a lot of time you're just diagonally. Obviously we want to get the fronts up and get them somewhere near, but then we'll look at the back and then you'll transfer the weight from, say, your back offside to your front near side and vice versa, so from your near side rear to your offside front and vice versa again. Right, I'll give them a quick look at that. I don't see the point in leaving the camera on while I do this. Obviously I can't do it one-handed. I'll tell you what, I'll give the backs a try one-handed, see how it goes. I'll have this bit of wood. Let's have this gauge. Let's have a look. So that lifted at just under 500. I'll move to this back side. Quite a bit of reach there, so it'll reach alright. Grab a bit of timber again. So we're just under 5 on that side. See what we've got this side. We're over 5, 550, which isn't bad for the rear. So I'll have a quick scratch of my head, work out which corner we're going to attack now. But we're pretty close at the rear. If anything, we'll do a level drop, possibly, just to compensate for any ride heights. So we'll have a look, see which corner we're going to go at. We'll go at that corner, hopefully get that corner weight a bit more level across the front axle. Right, won't be long. Right, so after a ton of crawling about on the floor, adjusting the cones at the rear, adjusting the cones at the front, across the diagonals, we've dropped the car down at the back. It's dropped down quite considerably, and we've basically used the rear across the diagonals to affect the weights at the front. So now we've got both the fronts at 775, so that's a good balance. So on the hard cornering, if you've got this balance out, you've got one corner light, your wheel will actually lift. And in our series we don't run a limited slip or any other type of trick differential, we just use a standard cross pin differential. So if we lift the wheel, or the wheel breaks traction, we then lose drive down the next straight. So obviously corner weight's very important if we don't want to be lifting front wheels. The back's not too bad, we're pretty even across it, though we've got the usual story that this near side rear is a little bit lighter, but it's not as important. It just means we'll probably lift the wheel a bit more on that side. It would be made a lot easier if we'd drilled the holes in the rear valance and got the Allen key bars to to go through onto the adjusters, and the same at the front if we drilled the tower bolts, or we bought the drilled tower bolts, you know, and adjusters through. It makes it a lot easier than crawling around on the floor and moving the steering around, especially when we're on the turntables, because the turntables don't like it. End up the cars wandering around all over the place. So we've got to recenter the car back on the turntables. We've got our ride heights nice and where we want them. We've got a nice bit of rake as well, so we've got about just over an inch of rake from front to rear, just to help that weight distribution. So basically, corner weights, very important. Weight distributed right, roughly 60-40 in that sort of area. You want some driver weight in, so you want some weight in. We've put the equivalent of a driver weight in. Dead weight, same as a driver. So we know the car's going to be thereabouts as we can get it with the old school tuning gear that we use. Anyway, I think that's it really. We're going to go in, we'll have to make sure that we've nipped up all our adjusters on the high-lows, just to make sure they don't wind up or wind down. Go around, check the bump stops, and make sure our bump stops still clear fine. Like I say, we have dropped a bit of ride height, you know, it shouldn't make a difference, but it might do, and it's worth checking. We're going to give, I think, Mini-Mine a shout, get some top arm bump stops, so we'll get them. We'll make another video of them when we get them. But our next video, we're going to do a setup. So we'll be getting the tracking gauges out, getting the camber gauge out, getting the caster gauge out, and we'll run through how to do a setup on it. And after the setup I'll probably have to corner weight it again and check ride heights, but that's all part and parcel of it. Anyway, it's a lovely way to kill a Sunday. So we'll call it a day at that. Right guys, I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.